Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for my Gemini people. But know that energy is fluid, so roles can be reversed. Cross watchers are always more than welcome to watch. But again, know that you will have to flip it, switch it, twist it. Again, interpret the message as the best resonates for you is what I'm getting at, whether you're a cross watcher or whether you are a Gemini. Okay, now if you're new to the channel, anything that you need to know about the channel, you can find in the description box down below. And if you're interested in winning a psychic reading with me, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word healer in the comment bar. Again, if you did do this or are going to do this, you can expect for me to eventually, if you do it enough times, that I will eventually pick your name. And especially right now while I'm building the channel. But again, what you'll need to do is you'll need to notice that I wrote back underneath your comment, winner. If you see that I wrote back, reach out to me. Again, through my email, pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com, so we can set up a time to do your psychic reading. Again, that will be live stream, by the way. Okay. Now, as I said, that this message is going to be for Gemini. Now, I'm going to look at the situation from not just what's happening in your life and, what the situation is at hand. I want to look at the hidden truths within your relationship. I want to look at the relationship triggers. I want to look at the soul wounds. I want to look at the bigger karmic lessons and themes. Like, what is the point? Why? Because again, this is a healing channel, and healing is all about seeing our situation differently, being able to look at the situation from a different perception, that we are able to actually detach so that we're not so emotionally invested in the situation or the outcome, because that's what creates a lot of fear and a lot of trauma. And when that happens, a lot of times we get stuck in a karmic loop where the same type of scenarios keep playing out, and then we begin to really feel like there's something wrong with us. So again, healing is all about learning to see our situation from a different situation. So if you're feeling victimized, hopefully you'll be able to feel more empowered. And you'll be able to feel more empowered because, again, you'll be able to make decisions based on the underlying energies, not again how it's playing out in a person's behavior, but again, what the person psychologically, spiritually is, again, is blocking them. You're able to, again, approach the situation much differently. All right. Now, as I said, energy is fluid, so I'm not going to flip back and forth. Meaning, say he or she, or this person or that person, like continually switch it, because sometimes it gets confusing when there's three people. And when there's three people, then sometimes it's difficult. So it's going to be up to you to interpret whether or not you are the third party or whether the third party is somebody else. Again, and you'll be able to tell by the person what the person is doing, how the person is acting towards you, how you're feeling emotionally, that kind of stuff. All right. If there is a third party, a lot of times there isn't a third party. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to take this one just because I'm sending you signs that I want you back again. So I feel like someone's thinking about you a lot. I feel like someone has more of a relationship in the 3D with you than actually in the here and now, in the physical. Like, you may not see this person, but I feel like, again, either a person is really obsessing about you or you're obsessing about this person. And to the point that they're seeing you everywhere, like within their imagination. They're seeing you within their dreams. They're seeing you. They're thinking that they're seeing you when you walk into a store. They're thinking that everyone looks like you. It's again like mainly I'm feeling because they didn't treat you right, or it's again, or you didn't treat them right. So again, take it as it resonates. But I'm gonna say that I feel like you're connected to someone that is seeing you everywhere, Gemini. Again, through every sign, every symbol, every person. It's again, they're just seeing you because subconsciously they first of all they miss you so much, but subconsciously they're being told call you. Again, reach out to you. I was being selfish. So I feel like this person is sending signs that they want you back because they didn't treat you right. They acted like they didn't care. They acted like they wanted everything their way. I feel like you were dealing with someone that was like my way or the highway. Someone that just, again, was selfish and could be possibly be selfish because they've had a lot of bad relationships, and also because I feel like you're dealing with someone that had a lot of bad relationships but also makes a lot of money, is very successful, is seen as maybe like even a public figure within their community, or feels like they're known well within their community and is respected within their community, so they don't really feel like they have to give a lot. Is again, and they're also like we're afraid of rejection. So if you're wondering why this person just doesn't reach out or why they don't do anything, so they have a really big ego. They're really insecure, which is why a person tends to be selfish. Okay, pension. So it's again, they can feel like you're not happy with them. They can feel it even though you guys are not talking. So you're probably not giving this person anything. You're not talking to them. You're not even interacting on social media, nothing. So it's again, I lost control of my life. So I feel like your person was really selfish in the fact that they had a lot of options. They were again treating you like you were an option when instead of again the real soulmate twin flame that they know that this relationship is. That's why it's again, but I feel like they really know it now. It's again, that's why they really know that it's love now, where before I don't think that they knew that it was love, because I feel like part of how they lost control of their life was to run around and kind of like date like a lot of people and like drink a lot and just like lose themselves in their addictions. And that's possibly because, again, they didn't want to feel so emotionally attached. They, again, I don't really feel like your person like allows themselves to feel. And so it's again, they know they wanted everything their way, and selfish meaning they wanted you to do all the work. It's again, they weren't ever thinking about your emotional needs. They were only considering their emotional needs. So if they did something for you, they were expecting something back. I feel like again, they also know that you're on a much higher vibration than they are. They kind of put you on a pedestal a little bit, and they also know that they didn't live up to your standards. So there's this internal tension also that they have with inside themselves, because they're saying, I know I didn't do this right, which is all about what the soulmate twin flame journey, does. It, that person is kind of like an outside mirror that's saying, this is what you did wrong. This is why there's tension again. So there's a lot of mirroring, and it's really because the person really feels guilty because of how they were. I feel like I've ruined everything. And so it's again, yeah, because they didn't apologize. They ran around, they didn't apologize. They played games. They knew that they were selfish, and they're insecure, so they don't know how to communicate. And they were living more from their addictions, because again, when we have wounds where it's blocking off our heart, right? Where that means that we're not really able to receive the love that we need. So we're not really emotionally being fulfilled. And so understand we're down here to experience all our different emotions, but really we're down here to manifest and manifest our passions, right? Passions. The passion for life is the fire of that manifests things. And one way that we manifest is through having a child, right? Again, the passion, that's one way. Well, again, the passion that you have for, again, your life. And so this person, Gemini, they might have feelings for you and everything, again, which I feel like you did, but I felt like it was more passion and it wasn't love. So you have to have love with passion. Otherwise, love, like passion without love is lust. And that disguises itself like love, but it's not love. It's again more of an evil energy. And why I say that is because it's only after one thing. It's all ego driven. It doesn't care about the other person. It only cares about feeding itself, feeding the ego. And this is where this person was. And mainly because if they got close and real intimate, they were really afraid of rejection. And now what they're realizing is they did all this to avoid tension. And really what they manifested is a whole shitload of tension. They expected you to chase them. They expected you to give them. It's again, that's not what happened. It backfired. And that's why they feel like they ruined everything, because they know that, you know, they would have to apologize. They know that they would have to like fix it somehow. Like, again, not just sit there. And this person's not used to doing anything. Let go and let God. So this person is again used to doing that, letting go and letting God. But sometimes we have to take responsibility for what we did. It's one thing to not control a situation, right? No one's saying that for this person to try and manipulate or control. That's all that this person did in the beginning, was manipulate and control, because they were selfish, right? Because they were afraid of rejection. But it's again, now it's not about letting go and letting God, because God helps those that help themselves. So this is like almost like a cop out, because I feel like your person is like afraid and doesn't really know how to deal with the situation, doesn't know how to apologize, is used to doing things easy, wants to stay comfortable a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Gemini. It's again, healing doesn't feel good. And the reason why is because your person would need to surrender their ego to actually be able to experience love, to be able to open up their heart, to really give to you. And so even though they might again be in that lust, like I really am digging you, like you're everything that I want on paper, but everything, if you listen to what they're saying, is I. Nothing is about us. Is it or about you, what your needs are. Relationships is all about compromise. It's all about like learning about each other, and really you get the most out of a relationship when you're giving, not receiving. So non-committal. And the reason why is because this person was non-committal. So even if they again were gonna come back, there's a sense that they just feel that they work better like that. They're not really looking for a deep commitment. I want to see what the hidden truths are. Just because a person's not committal doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. But again, being what a person's intention is, if their intention is negative and they're non-committal, then we know that we get out of there fast. Okay, I hid behind material things. So it's again, this is again another reason this person, like I said, is seen within their community, possibly has a good job, associates themselves with, again, these outside things, these material things, instead of really, again, being intimate, being, again, connected to the relationship. I love you unconditionally, but they know that you're a soulmate twin flame. So they know that this is, again, a very spiritual union. And I feel like they have thought a lot about their relationship, again, with other people, and they've able to, see the difference between how they felt with how they feel with you and how they felt with past people. And what they're saying is, it's again, even though we don't jive, we don't connect all the time, I still love you unconditionally, which again is the soulmate twin flame journey, because it's again, you're getting someone, Gemini, that thinks completely different than you, that doesn't process information the same way that you do. The relationship is divine, meaning source has brought you together to, pull the wounds out of each other, to be the mirror, to also be the catalyst, to be the inspiration, to be the muse for each other. It's again, that's what soulmate twin flame is. It's again, it creates balance where there is no balance, but it's a hard journey. And why it's again, people tend to be like, no, it's the hardest. It is because it's karmic, and karmic means learn. So it's again, you're going to be triggered with your soulmate twin flame. Why do you think there's this unconditional love and this? But in the beginning, the person wanted to control. In the beginning, this person was non-committal. They didn't want it. They're not used to putting energy in. It's again, they don't want to do that, but they feel guilt, they feel remorse. But they're also afraid. It's again, this is where they have to surrender the ego. They kind of had to come back with their tail between their legs a little bit, and apologize again. So there's tension because they know what they did. They know what they did. But the wound is again where they were rejected, abandonment. They were, again, because rejection is all about that. It's abandonment. So the person is afraid of that. But they really have to, regardless of whether and not Gemini, you choose to be with them or not, they have to come back and try, because otherwise they're abandoning themselves. And then that will continue to like play out within new relationships and other things that they don't feel they're worthy of, but they are, because I feel like your person doesn't feel like they're deserving of love 100%, because a person that's non-committal, a person that was selfish, and again, now it's bothering them. It's again, and they saying that they want you back, but they had to learn. They had to learn, and I don't think that they ever experienced. I'm so like I actually want to work it out. I want to fix it. Usually this person is stuck in their ego. They don't want to work it out. They want to, manipulate things to have everything their way. They want to be selfish. But it's again, a soulmate twin flame relationship is all about making the other person accountable and realizing like, I can't control this relationship, because the moment that I do is the moment that it creates more havoc in the relationship. So it's again, and it does so because the relationship is so paradoxical. It's again that I have a lot of love, but I also have a lot of like trauma that's based around, and that's really what this is. Like again, where two people have that, and it's very overstimulating, because when we have so much thoughts and emotions about a situation, we freeze, we can't think, and then we just tend to react. And then if we're coming just from an emotional standpoint, we can see how the relationship can be very volatile, how it can get really out of control, and why they say that there's a fine line between love and hate, because it's again, because there's like this love, but on so many levels, there's a lot of different levels, and part of the different levels are part of the different levels is the healing that you need to do for yourself, the healing that you need to do with this person, and again, and how it reflects out within your life, within your behaviorisms, and within your life experiences. So it's not like a little thing. This is why that, you know, your relationships are profound. Okay, let's see. I hope that you can forgive me one day. So again, this person wants you back. They want forgiveness. They're really, again, thinking about it. They're nervous about rejection, but I feel like they're going to overcome that. They're going to overcome that because it's, again, it's really bothering them. Let's just see. I'm going to just get confirmation on that to see whether or not what they're planning on doing. Because like right now, they're like, again, it seems like they're a little bit obsessed about it. And it's because I realized, wow, I love this person unconditionally. I really miss this person. And so, again, that is going to override the rejection because love always does. And this person really wants forgiveness. They want another chance. Again, Page of Swords communication. So yeah, this person is going to reach out. You can see like Page of Swords. So I feel like it's probably going to be something small because they don't really know how to approach you, Gemini. They feel like, you know, you may not forgive them. You may not want to take them back. They're afraid of rejection. They know there's a good chance you can reject them. So, and why I say page, it's like kind of like kid energy. It's, again, it's not emotional secure. You have to watch out with pages too, because a lot of times there's a lot of lip service, but there's no action. There's a lot of walk. There's a lot of talk, but no walk. And so you have to not run in with all your emotions with this person, because again, we see where they came from, meaning what they did prior. And now you want them also to, I don't want to say work a little harder, but it's, again, this person has to open up their heart. And the only way a person opens up their heart is to give. So this person is going to communicate, and there's going to be communication. But part of your communication, Gemini, is to express what you need, because, and like set boundaries at this point. And like anything that you don't like, anything that you want this person to do, it's, again, try to get the relationship on the right path, because this person is coming in vulnerable. Like, again, they want forgiveness. It's, again, they love you unconditionally. They've realized this. It's, again, you have the upper hand. It's, again, they realize, again, that they were selfish about rejection. They're coming in with the communication. They also know that it's all their fault, the things that they did. So again, being crazy, acting from just their ego. So your way is to, again, lay boundaries. And again, what's going to make you feel comfortable? Do you want to be in this relationship? If you do, what would that look like to you? This is the time to think about it. Because I have a feeling when this person comes back, because there is unconditional love between the both of you, it would be very emotional, and you would be just very happy to see this person. And this person isn't 100% there when they're coming in like a page. You need to come in at least like a king, not a page. Okay. I want to look at the spiritual triggers. Want to look at the spiritual triggers that this person has, that, again, maybe you triggered them, and again, what triggers you. And take it as it resonates, Gemini. Again, but I'm going to pull 2 for each. I want to look at the spiritual triggers first for how you trigger your person, Gemini. Passion. I feel our passion is gone, and many things frustrate me about you. So it's, again, So I feel like maybe that's the person that you're connected to, or it's again, that's a fear that you have. It's again that that maybe again you're overthinking and you're getting nervous and you feel like that's going to affect the passion, and that's very common with people that have intimacy problems. People that have intimacy problems is all about closeness. It's about being able to be real transparent without the fear of being abandoned. It's again abandonment and affects passion, right? It's again trust affects passion. And so there's a sense of that. I feel actually this is Gemini, this is probably how you feel towards your person. Like you're a little frustrated with your person because it's like they play a lot of games. They come in and out. They they were very selfish. They only wanted to look at things from their way. And I feel like you're frustrated with them. I don't feel like they're frustrated with you. I feel like they're trying to get back together with you. So let's make sense out of this, Again, some substances, the unhealthy choices you have made with your body has been affecting me. Yeah, it's like, again, this person was selfish and wanted things their way and they played games. And I feel like because they're just realizing how much they have feelings for you and now is all under control. I feel like for a long time they were able to suppress their feelings with drinking and again other things to distract them, which is the whole problem with the intimacy issue. Again, this is instead of the person dealing with you, Gemini, and telling you again how they felt that, hey, listen, I'm afraid of relationships. Can we go slow? I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid. Like instead, this person just acted out, again, lost full control of their life. It's again, and now they're in this place of, oh my God, I really love Gemini. I really love them, and now I'm like afraid that you're not going to take me back. It's like now I'm afraid, and there's a part of you that's like, I really, this has affected us. It's affected our intimacy. It's affected how can I trust you? It's again, and then when it really gets deep, like you escape. You don't, it's again, even face it, which is why we've been circling around. I feel like some of you guys have been, in this relationship with this person where it never really went anywhere, but we're in a relationship for 3 years, 6 years, where it never really got off the ground. The person would come and go and breadcrumb and give it a certain amount and then, but not really enough, and was very selfish. And so now all of a sudden they're like, oh, now this is the type of relationship that I would want. And so that's dangerous because it's again, they're looking for something outside of them to fill them. This person needs healing. This person, and I'm not saying they don't love you, Gemini. What I'm saying is once they would get you, it's again, they're still dealing with things where they're escaping into substances. It's going to affect passion with everyone. It's again because it's all about communication, which is why again you would need to communicate to this person and say, hey, you check out, you're selfish. This isn't just a case of what you did. It's you've been doing that for years, not just with me. You've been doing it. It's people don't just all of a sudden do it one day. They've been doing it. If they're 30 or 40 or 50 and they're not married and have a lot of bad relationships, it's what they do. And so now they're living in regret because they like reacted. Okay, let's look at the blocks again and triggers for again your person, since I feel like that these are your triggers, definitely, Gemini. Assumptions. I feel attacked by the constant need to assume what I was doing or saying. They hit my limit. Well, because Gemini, this person wasn't giving you, again, they were completely selfish And then what would happen is you would try and lay boundaries, and then this person got triggered, when really it's like you weren't asking for anything. All you were doing was sticking up for yourself. But because this person was shady, and because this person like is fearful of rejection and is afraid of being like controlled and manipulated negatively, they again have commitment issues. And so again, when you would feel that, because you're like, I'm not getting emotionally what I need, and then this person again kind of gaslighted a little bit. It's again, but that is also what happens to them. They don't see that they're gaslighting. I feel like to them that's their reality, because their reality at one time was that they got hurt, that they got manipulated. So they just want everything their way. They want to control the relationship. But what happened was they controlled it to the point that you're out of their life, Gemini. Now they feel bad. They want to come back, but really their trigger is the fact that they don't communicate. And when you do communicate, they take it as an attack. That's really what I'm feeling. So it's not that that's not a trigger, but that's what happens sometimes. It's again when we have a distorted perception, because we've been living a certain way for a very long time, and we've had that same trauma for a long time. So again, there's a lot of walls that your person has. So it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. They have feelings. This isn't about love. They want to come back, but are they mature? Are they on the same vibration as you? Know? Again, to look how they handle things. Again, emotionally, they're not really intelligent. They'd rather escape. It's again, you have a hard, would have a very hard time again in the future having conversations with this person, because of what they've shown you in the past, unless they have done a tremendous amount of work. That anything that you would say, they would always be like, oh, a trigger. Because again, it's almost like you're guilty without even doing anything. And possibly because for a long time you were shady. So it's again, there were consequences for it. One more. Okay, unfair. I feel things have become too unfair and I cannot deal with it anymore. So I feel like, again, this person again feels like, I feel like with you, this is more like, again, you, but I also feel like it can be both. I'm going to say that it's both. I feel like you feel like it's unfair because you're like, listen, I gave my heart, I gave you second chance, I gave you third chance. You never change, because the block is the fact that you escape. You fall into escapism, and then it affects our passion. It affects our trust, our intimacy, because passion isn't just about, sex. It's about, trust. It's you create with this energy. This has a lot of fire energy. And instead of you again manifesting something with it, you're like, you're lost in your addictions. And because of that, you're distorted with your perceptions of that, assuming that I'm making assumptions about you, and I'm really not making any assumptions about you. It's just I want to be able to have a conversation. And so it's unfair. It's unfair because it's emotionally draining to you, Gemini. That's how I feel. I feel like these were all mainly the way that, again, you're feeling with this person, and that this one person, again, too, is that when you say something to them, they have assumptions that you're always coming from a negative perception, even though you're not. It's like it's conversation. So it's again, this person has a lot of trauma from past relationships. Let's look at some of their wounds. Because if we can understand what their wounds are. Now, this is a problem, like, again, if you want to be with them, Gemini, because you have to be able to communicate in relationship. It can't just be about the passion. Passion is, again, normally what brings people together and what keeps people together when you have a healthy relationship. Again, you manifest, you build things together. Families build things together. Um, oh, it just came. Let's see. Getting anything off this board is next to impossible. Okay, insecure, but then self-righteous. And you'll know that. Again, what that is someone that has a really big ego and they're insecure, so they overcompensate. It's second chakra imbalance, and they overcompensate by being, again, like very self-righteous, judging other people, never admitting when they're wrong, never taking responsibility for, again, what they do. And that's what this person did. So like I said, do they have feelings? Yes, but they're very insecure and they're self-righteous. So what'll happen is you'll say something to them and then they get hurt. It's, again, because they're insecure. But then what'll happen is if you're nice to them and they're good, then there's a sense of that they got away with it. And there's a sense that they're always right. So this is somebody that has, again, been able to live very imbalanced for a long period of time, possibly because they wind up being with people that put up with it. Again, they possibly could make a lot of money, be very good looking. So they have been able to live their life by just doing what they've wanted to do and not really paying attention to their actions. And what they see is their actions created consequences. So now they're like, but I have love. And what you're saying is, yeah, but now I'm seeing all like this stuff about you that I'm not really attracted to. Like, again, I'm seeing the spiritual issues, and the spiritual issues are that you act unfair. You don't think about me. You're very, again, insecure. You're, again, self-righteous when you don't have a right to be. You lose yourself, and you're delusional the way that you think, because, again, you're lost in your addictions and substance abuse, so you're not present. So this is the problem, and this is all because the person needs a lot of healing. This person needs a lot of healing. So let's look at the, again, karmic thing, and I'm going to pull two from this deck. This is the twin flame deck, and I'm going to pull from one other twin flame deck before I close out the reading, because I am getting tired and I have to get up really early tomorrow. Okay. Okay, mirrors, I can't validate our love in the 3D until I understand our spiritual love in the 3D. Give me time to explore this aspect so I can be a strong and spiritual partner for you. So again, this is exactly what I was saying, that it's, again, this person loves you, but they are not as spiritually on the same vibration as you. So again, even though that they realize that they love you, that the relationship wouldn't play out positive, because they need to be able to cultivate some sort of emotional intelligence and be able to communicate. And what we see here is that they didn't know how to do that. They didn't do that. They played games. And so now that they're not doing that, they see it that they have passion, but how is a person going to deal with stress the next time a problem arises? Otherwise, and the reason why is because otherwise then you're back and forth, on, off. Like, we're back together. No, we're not. We're back together. No, we're not, because you never got to the root of the issue. And that's what I was talking about, what a karmic loop is. It's like, it's the same karmic theme. I'm feeling victimized. Why do I keep giving? I keep getting hurt. You keep doing the same thing. I keep feeling abandoned. It's the same. And then I'm trying to connect to you and give you a message. Can you hear me? So again, this person is like, again, seeing you through everything and everyone. It's again, they feel guilty. Again, they're sending you signs that they want you back. And they're again trying to connect to you again through a message. So that's validation if I ever saw it. Um, so I do believe that eventually they'll send you a message, but I think right now they're trying to send you a message like telepathically. And that's why the person's saying, can you hear me? Again, because again, they're working on things in the 3D, in the spiritual realm right now. So they're like, I realize I love you. I realize I'm sending you vibes and I want to get back together. Can you feel me? But that's not enough to bring you back together again. The person needs to be grounded and they need to again do the full work, and at least that they realize it. Last message. My world is falling apart right now and I don't know how to fix it. It's not right for me to dump that on you. So it's again, I feel like this for your person's going through a dark night of the soul, because again, they're realizing that they played a lot of games, and I don't think that it's just within their relationship, but the relationship with them, Gemini, has been the catalyst for this person's spiritual transformation. And a lot of times when there's transformation spiritual, the other things that are in your person's life that are not in alignment for their better good to support their evolution fully are going to fall away and fall apart. So I feel like your person's really looking at their life again, or the person that's connected, because you may not even, again, this story here is saying that these people don't, that you don't want to be with this person. And now, again, this is general reading, so whether you do or don't, it's like your person is going through a spiritual transformation. And if you're wondering, well, why was I brought into this? Well, it's again because the universe brings soulmate twin flames to help us rise. So the love, the unconditional love that this person learned that they had for you was a catalyst for their transformation. And for you, I believe it's again to sometimes to choose you, self-love. A lot of times that's what it is. It's like it's a karmic test for you. The karmic test was I love myself. I love myself enough to know that I'm worth more. And that's why you know, I left and I stood up for myself, and now you're on your journey. But this story mainly is about Gemini, the person that was connected to you, that is realizing the loss. And I hate to say it like almost like that, but sometimes that's just the lesson. It's like we get a lesson, but in choosing you, you're loving yourself. And it's again, that a lot of times is test, the first test and the last test before you meet the right person. Because again, you should show the universe, I love myself. So even though I may have loved you and may have loved the connection, I was able to walk away from you to the point now that you're the one that has to deal with the karma. You're the one that has to live out the karmic, pain. And sometimes we have good karma, but this here is again the person's left sorrowful because you don't really want them, because again they did too much damage, too much water underneath the bridge, waited too long, was too cocky, thought they had all the time in the world, decided to check out, did their substances. So I hope that this was helpful for you, Gemini. I know that this was kind of like a heavy reading, but again, I'm not in charge of the cards that come out. So I'm just the conduit for spirit to speak. So if you resonated with this video, give me a like, comment the word healer in your comment bar, and subscribe to the channel. And like I said, make sure to, again, make sure that you are in the raffle so you at least have a chance at winning a free psychic reading. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.